Right, here I am doing the satin stitch over the leaf shapes on the Mary Tudor, and it's pretty simple. First, I'm going to be dividing up the sections and then filling in between. I'm using the 0.16 millimeter smooth passing thread, and I'm using 4 strands. The gold plated thread is waxed. I want a sharp needle that can get through the 2 layers of silk, and I want it to have a large enough eye so that it creates a good size hole, reducing the friction on the thread. We want to leave a little bit of the purple showing through. And you want the satin stitch to be flat, so don't layer it too much on itself. Again, divide up the sections and then fill in between. If I layer the satin stitch too much on top of itself, it'll get a puffed look. And that's a great look, and I definitely use it in other parts of this underskirt panel and the matching sleeve lowers, but I don't want it here. I want this to be flat. Here I am a little bit further into it, and I'm using a different needle, and this one has a smaller eye, so the thread passing through the 2 layers of fabric is a little bit noisier. I want to come up on the outside of the pattern and go across to the other outside. So outside to outside. Oh. All right, here I have divided up this last half of the leaf shape. Looks like I've spent 12 minutes working on it so far. That's about right. I think each full leaf took me about 30 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes. And again, we work from outside to outside the pattern. All right, so I'm coming to the end of my thread, so I'm going to go up here, pierce the cording, go down, and come back up again. With plaited thread, this creates the knot. I'm going to go ahead and clip it, and then a little dab of glue will go here, and then I will clip it off. All right, so the glue has dried, so I'm just clipping the threads off on the front, and that will hold them. And again, a little bit of the fabric showing through is fine. It actually gives it a, I like it. I like the way it looks better. And you don't have to sweat over it. You can do it quite fast. Remember, you have a lot of yardage to cover when doing an underskirt panel and sleeve lower set. So just do it quickly and move on. Don't sweat the small stuff, especially when this, like when it's right up next to the edge of the panel. This is going to be under the skirt pretty much the whole time. My top fabric is a medium weight pot de soie, and my bottom fabric is a about 120 gram taffeta that was donated by Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. She's one of my two fabric angels. Lisa and Rowena are my two fabric angels. All right, now let me show you couching the pearls. All right, so I've strung them up on a thread, and now I've just placed it loosely. Now I'm going to be just couching around each of the pearl sets to hold it to the fabric. And you can go between every pearl or every other pearl, depending on where it is and how much rub it's going to get. So I don't want to make a full stitch with that yet because I may need to loosen it. I'm needing to loosen my strand. Remove a purl. I think it's pretty good. Once you get the stitch, the couching stitch laid in, it does make it a little bit tighter. So I think this is okay. All right, that's nice and secure, and I can do the next section. Here I'm both stringing and couching with the same thread. It does cause a little bit of a headache, but sometimes I don't want to thread up another needle. So I'm just kind of going back and forth and putting it, holding it in place. All right, all finished.